Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Punya Prasha and we will start stream soon. let me just, yeah. Hello everyone, I'm Punyapal Shah, Laravel Addition, PHP developer, consultant. I'm open source contributor, speaker, core team of Pinkery project, a founder of Laravel Addition community. I have also worked in a Paste V4. As an engineer, I live in Ahmedabad city, India, and also a volunteer of Laravel Ahmedabad community. To reach out me, either you can scan the Pinkery QR code or go to my website mrpunyapal.dev. So, what is Laravel Addition community? Laravel Addition community is a community I created in September 2022, and we were actually 5 to 10 members, and I was alone who was helping others. But now we are more than 3,000 members, and I'm happy to share there are many of there which are helping others. So I'm happy about it. If you want to join Laravel Addition community, you can scan this QR code or go to the Telegram and type Laravel Additions. So whenever you want to reach out a particular floor of a building, will you choose a stairs or an elevator? Stairs will also allow you to reach any particular floor, and elevator will also allow you to reach a particular floor, right? But stairs will take some more time than elevator, and it will also take some energy from you, right? But at the same time, elevator will just take you to that floor, and it will take can you mute? Sorry. Okay. Oh, something like that. Yes. Okay. Thanks. Okay. So I know you guys will say, yeah, we will gonna choose elevator, right? So today we gonna learn about elevator of refactoring things in a PHP, which is Reactor PHP, and we also gonna see how to refactor Laravel with Reactor PHP. So what is Reactor PHP and why? So Reactor PHP is an automated refactoring tool for PHP projects, which also support frameworks like Laravel, Symfony, PHP Unit, and more. It also helps us to upgrade from lower version to upper versions like Laravel 8 from 11 or 12, PHP 7.4 to PHP 8.4. It can also help us to clean up our code automatically. Keeps our code modern by enforcing best practices. It ensures consistent and error-free refactoring. Can be also integrated with the CI/CD pipeline. So if there is something which needs refactoring, you can know before it pushing to the main or a dev. So how to get into the Reactor PHP? So it is just easy as installing the Reactor Composer package. You can just install Reactor Composer package and run vendor bin Reactor process, and it will also help you to create a configuration file as well. After having a configuration file, you can just set up whatever paths you want to have to run in a Reactor PHP. You can also set some rule sets or rules, and you can again run the Reactor PHP, and it will refactor your code. We're gonna see how Reactor PHP work behind the scenes after next slide. So what is Laravel Reactor? So Laravel Reactor is also a package which you can install along with the Reactor, and you will have some presets and rules to refactor Laravel. So let's see Reactor PHP in action. So let's run the Reactor command. So it is saying that you don't have Reactor PHP file, the configuration file, and you can see that we don't have that configuration file. So let's say, yeah, we want to create a configuration file, and it will just create a configuration file for us, right? It has detected like what PHP file you have, and it added all the paths where you have a PHP files. But yeah, you can remove the test if you do not want to run the Reactor into the test files. And here we have some label thing. So there is a lot of presets. So let's see. Let's run the Reactor PHP again and see what it does. So if we run Reactor PHP again, so we can see that it has added some types, right? The return types, void, void here as well, right? But and let's see how to configure the Rector PHP. So it is what I mean. It's what we call it. I mean, let's go to the here. We can easily see that it is not returning anything. So it is not problem to add void type here. So Rector PHP did for you, right? So let's see how to configure Rector PHP more. So I have removed the other extra file which I am not wanting to run the Rector, and we can also see that I'm just running the app.php. So you can also define particular file as well to run Rector PHP, right? And also the paths, whatever path you want to run the PHP. So you can also use preset for any particular PHP version. You can also define that I am using this version, so don't refactor things above that version. You can also have presets like dead code, code quality, code style, type declaration, privatization, instance of, early return. There are many. And yeah, what I said is, if you don't want to run all the, if we see dead code, it will have more than 50 rules, right? So if you want to start from low, you can start with the 0 levels, right? And then increase level one by one and do a small PRs to your project or small commits to your project, right? We have also Laravel presets, like you are on a Laravel 12 from 11, so you maybe some things which Laravel knows, Rector knows that it should be upgraded, it will upgrade for you. It will also maintain a code quality for you. There are some collection other sets which will help you. You can also skip a particular rule or a particular path or a particular file or a path for particular rule, right? You can also ignore. I mean, if you don't like that, how can I help with this is, let's say user, right? And if you see this cast is overridden, right? So somehow we add override attribute, right? But if you don't like it, I mean, it will Laravel Rector will automatically add that override stuff for you. But if you don't like them, you can just say I don't like them, right? So it will not gonna add now this override attribute. You can also skip. I mean, if you don't wanna run your Rector into test file, but you have some test files in your app directory. So you can also say that whatever files I have in app directory which has a postfix as a test, which it should be ignored. You may have some unused private properties which you want to, keep it for now. So you can say that in my user user model, I have some private properties, I want to keep it, so don't remove them. Other than that, you can also configure rules. So this eloquent magic method query builder Rector rule comes from the Laravel Rector package, which we have talked about a bit moment ago, right? So you, sometimes you think that let me try to add something here, right? So user, and it is recommended to use a query, right, every time. So but when you are creating something, it does not make sense to use query for some people, right? So you can say that it is configurable, and you can say exclude methods create. So whenever someone have used user model with the create or any model with the create, it will not add the query for method call as first, right? And at the last, we also have, there is a lot of things, but what we are discussing at last, we have with import names, right? And which can do multiple things, which is import names. So maybe if you have things like this, maybe let's say user or like this, right? So it can it can import these for you automatically, right? We're gonna see live some examples, and it can also import doc blocks. It can also import short classes, remove unused imports, right? So if you have something like this, I mean, so basically this like this is right, it is unused import, right? So if you run reactor now, it will remove that unused import simply, right? If you have this remove unused imports true, right? We cannot see everything, right, but we can see some of them. So let's start with the maybe early returns. So I have created some branches. I will provide you this whole repository, right? Okay, I think we have, yeah, we have here. So now let's run the reactor and see what happens. I will mm, yo. So it has done some changes, right? And it will also show you that what changes it has done, right? So let's see this. Let me close this. Yeah. So what it has did is it has simplified this stuff by removing the value variable. Let me try to do kind of yeah. So basically what previously happening is we were storing null into the value. Then if a, a is true, then we were storing 1 into the value. If b is true, we were storing 2 into the value, and then at the end we were returning the value. But in early returns, what we do is we just return when possible, I mean as early as possible. So what we did, if a is true, return 1, b is true, return 2, and then return null. So we don't need an extra variable as well, and we are not going through the whole code, I mean whole line of the code to return a 1, right, or a 2. So that was the simple, but we have other thing as well. If you see this code, let me, yeah. So what we were doing, if something is true, then true, otherwise if something is false, then check if something else is true, right? But I mean, why we need to do like that? We can if only also check that if I mean something is true, then return true, otherwise check for something else. So there is a lot of other things as well. I mean in this case you want to return 100 when value is 50, so you just return it. You don't need to store into the value and go through the whole code, right? And yeah, in this example this code is bit small, but in real scenarios this code can be bigger, right? I have added a lot of examples, you can see later, right? One more thing it do is I can show is in quickly here is, so in new PHP versions the rand function is not best practice to use for integer stuff. So you can use random integer, and you may not know aware about that random int kind of function is exists, right? So Reactor is helping you to improve that, right? I hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to explain. Okay, other than that we can also see the dead code stuff. So let me quickly switch to dead code branch and let's run the reactor, right? I hope I'm not going too fast. But yeah. So let's see what happening. So it has applied lot of reactor rules which says remove empty class, remove something, remove simply, right, read only property, random function. So let's see what it has done, right? See, there was one private function which was unused, right? When something is private and cannot be inherited, and if it is not used anywhere, that means that is unused dead code and can be removed, right? So let's see what exactly it has done with our code. So there was two properties which was totally unused, so it has removed it, right? It has also removed one totally dead I mean what do you call it, function, right? Actually in this case what really happened is, firstly it was something like this, shall we return, it was true, so it was always true, so it has removed this. Then it was just unused function somehow, so it has even if it was public, it was doing nothing, and so that's why it was removed. Now you can see that multiplying 1 into 5 is not making sense at all, or adding 0 to the 5 is not even making sense, so it has removed that as well, right? Okay, let me check one more case where you can see that this was having a duplicate returns, right? I mean, sorry, uh, array keys, right? So it has removed the one of the array key which was duplicate. So you are also aware of it, and it has also removed. There was one constructor which was not making sense, so it has been also removed, right? Okay, so now you may have one question, right? Rector is removing this stuff, and what if something is important has removed? So again, you can always run, you don't need to always run rector, and so you can run, I mean, rector in a dry run state, and it will just tell you that it has some issues. It will not gonna change, right? It has just said that there is some refactoring needed, right? It haven't changed anything. You can see my git changes and there is nothing, right? Yeah, so that is the case of the dead code. So it will help you to remove the dead code. Let's see one more thing which is also important enough. So let's say code quality. So I have quickly switched to the code quality, and let's run rector again. I hope I'm going slow. Okay, so it has also run now multiple things. Let's see what actually it has done, right? So what strlen does not have a second parameter, so it has just removed second parameter because it was not needed. Here what we are doing is we was checking the position of a character, and we don't want we are going case insensitive, but we also have a function called striops, that means the position of the case sensitive position, right? So yeah, it is simplifying for you. There is one more thing which is I mean, does not make sense because you are just doing str printf for a single string, right? Which is does not make sense, so it has removed as well. Here we have arrays, right, which are already defined, and array merge are not making sense, so it has removed. Same here, you don't need to push something like this because the array was empty, right, and you are pushing single thing into the array, so it is also simplified. There is a lot of example, right? We can may see this, right? You are doing str of position, I mean of /n, right? Now if you don't want to do that, you can directly use str content, which is the latest, right? So yeah, this is also the helping us. So there are a lot of example. You can see this as well. I mean, concatenating string into string does not make sense. You can just add a I mean add them here directly, right? So yeah, it is improving your code quality, right? For PHP thing, we can see into lot of things, but I have one more thing to show, which is actually I mean problem for a lot of, oh okay, let me, sorry, yeah. So it is something which is for, I mean for the carbon stuff. So a lot of people have issues that, I mean, let me show you. Yeah, here it is. So sometimes if you use date time or date or something like that, and our main, I mean system is using, or project is using carbon, and we lost somehow the time zone functionality here, right? So for that we have carbon rule set, which I think I have shown you already. Let me try to show this carbon preset, right? So let me clear and quickly run the rector, and let's see what just happens. Yo, so what it has done is, when you want to when you have used time, it will convert that into the timestamp. I mean carbon now gets timestamp. If you have date with ymd format, it will do carbon now format ymd. If you have something like this, which is pretty interesting, you are doing today plus 20 day, right? And formatting as well with the date time. And what it does actually, it has created carbon today at days 20. So it is bit magical, but helping us a lot as well, right? So these are the Rector PHP rule sets we have seen. Yeah, there is a lot of rules to see, but we cannot see everything in a single talk. So let's move on to some Laravel rules, right? So let's start with the code quality of Laravel. So we have quickly switched to branch which has some quality problem for Rector. So for your project. So let's run the Rector and see how it is helping us to improve our quality. So first case you can see is, yeah, we actually have the code, right? Yeah, here we have, right? So let's see this quickly, like what is it has changed. So config has second parameter as a providing the default value. So it doesn't even make sense to use a null collision operator. So it is simplifying there, right? It is also simplifying one more thing, which is you guys maybe use contracts and for with the service container, and if you are providing aliases, it may be change in the future or something like that. You can provide the class name as well, for the base practice. So it directly check what alias you are using. It fetches class from the Laravel and just add class here, right? So that is also a code quality thing which may you want to look at, right? Okay, one more thing, which is with the conditionals, and it's not only work on the models or a query builder. Wherever there those conditionals are there, it will work. So doing when and not does not make sense when you can do unless directly, right? So it will convert your things directly here, right? Let's see one more thing which is also interesting. So let's see. Okay, I have copied wrong thing maybe. Yeah. So I have switched to if helper stuff. So you may know that we have this simple code where we are doing abort, report, and throw, right? But we have some functions which can improve the code, right? So let's run the Rector PHP and see what happens. So what it has done is, so we was having some code like if condition is there, throw the exception. So it was converted into the throw if, right? And throw unless. Same for report if and report unless, and same for abort if and abort unless. So now it's more readable maybe, or we can say, yeah, it is more readable and more Laravel way. So yeah, okay. At the last Laravel thing we can see is, here, let's see what I can do is, let's switch to okay, we also have something for the collection as well, right? So let's run the Laravel Rector and see what happens with the collection. I hope I'm going slow. Okay, so collection have some functions called like the contains and doesn't contains, filter, reject, and average and sum. So average have a shortcut called the main function which is Laravel provided, which is avg. So it just convert that. Sum also has contains, so it is just converting that. We also have see filter and reject, but using note into filter is exactly what reject does. So yeah, it's just converted into the reject. Same for the filter, right? And of course it is also doing some more stuff, which is doing booleans, right? Because number is integer, so let's convert it into the boolean, right? If it is null, it will be converted into false, kind of. And yeah, we can see that using not with the contains, it does not make so sense. So it is doing doesn't contain. Same for the contains, right? So yeah, this were the Laravel rules we have talked quickly. But yeah, I want to just show that thing. let's run the rector quickly to have some less code to refactor. Yeah, because I want to show something which is, let's say we will have it here, right? So if I remove this query, right, and directly put the unless over here, yeah, right, and run the rector again, as we have this rule called the magic method to query builder, right, it will add query to your code. So no need to worry about if you missed or added the query or not. It will automatically add it for you, right? So yeah, that was the Laravel Rector and Rector PHP, right? Yeah, it helps us to improve quality, upgrade projects. But one more thing which you may like to see is custom Rector rules, right? And why we have custom Rector rules? So it can automate specific refactoring thing for your project. It can also enforce coding standards. So in big companies or your company can have some coding standard that we should always use soft deletes trait. So you can create a rector rule to add check and add soft delete traits to every models, right? It can also help you to modify behavior of unique cases. So yeah, rector is good at most of the cases, but if you have any particular unique case where you want to change some modify some rector behavior, you can do that. So how to do that? You need to just extend abstract rector class which is provided by the rector. You need to define node transformation. I mean, what kind of node should be transformed into what. We will see what is node and all, and you just need to register that rule into rector php and you will be able to use it now. So let's see what it is. Okay, so let me just switch to the branch which I have created for rector rules, right? Yeah. So what I did is I have created one simple rector rule, right? I will simply try to explain it as simple as possible. We extended the abstract rector, right? We have defined some definition which is something like this is before and this is after, which is no need to take worry about it. It is just simple enough to understand. Now what we will define get node types function method, which will tell rector that we need to just, oh, before that, why we have created this rule, which is converting snake case to Pascal, the enums, right? So let me just tell you that we have some enums where we have kind of cases which is in a snake case, or we can say the capital snake case, right? But our company says we want to use Pascal case, right? Okay, so let me run it first and try to explain you later, right? So let's run it and see what happens. See, so what actually happened, it's converted gamma delta which was in the snake case to Pascal case. Same for here, for here, for here, right? It can detect self as well, it can detect a class call as well, it can detect case as well, right? So yeah, and it has also done the same thing in a other as well. So it was having another enum which and the enum, and both are converted into the Pascal case from the snake case. So let me try to explain you as easy as possible. So we extended the abstract rule, right? Then we define, it is just for example, right? I mean, how it will gonna look like, what was before and what was after. That's it. So we have said that there is a lot of type of nodes. Let's discuss these two nodes which we have defined. So this is enum case, which is nothing but this case, right? Which is this case, right? Okay, sorry. Yeah, wait, where we, oh, okay, yeah. So, and the class constant fetch is nothing but anything which is something like this, right? So whatever is used like this, which will be a class call. Yeah, it can be let's say another enum called alpha beta. So this is the class case at the I mean at the end, right? So let me just undo everything, and maybe we can just, I mean, we are not going to convert enum for class const fetch, right? So let me run the reactor process again, and now we will see that the enums are changed but the class cases are not, right? So that is what the meaning of class case, right? uh, Let me just, right? And yeah, so the self call is also a class case, and enum class with the call is also class case. And if I run now reactor again, right, it will just change it, right? So why, what is happening here now? So if it is a an enum case, it is fixed that it is, yeah, it's enum case, so we don't need to worry much. So we are just converting it. Oh, we are just converting it. We are getting the name and just checking that old name and new name is not same. Yeah, why we gonna, I mean, convert thing already in a Pascal case to Pascal case, right? So we are just making, see, you don't need to write know everything right now, but what we are doing is we are just creating the identifier which help us to understand what is the name, right? So maybe the node is mostly the identifier, right? So we are creating the identifier to override the name. And in case of class fetch, all the class fetch will not be a enum call, right? So we are checking if it is a class, so that means it does not need any changes. If it is a null, that also means it does not may want, I mean, need any changes, right? Also we have one call which is simple enough, which is checking that I think it will be a bit complex, but I want to explain it in a easy way is possible. This function, these methods are provided by the rector itself, so you don't need to implement this get name, right? So it will be easy for you. Just we are getting the type of class, is it enum or not, we are checking. If it is enum, so if it is, I mean, it can be also kind of another enum colon class, right? So we don't want to make this C capital, right? So we will skip it. And we have some simple code which is just converting if it is already snake. If it is not snake, don't convert it. If it is snake, just convert it. Yeah, it was simple enough, right? And yeah, if you ask AI or you're gonna do manually these things, it will take a lot of time, right? There is just two enums, maybe your case has a lot of enums, right? So to explain like how I mean in a big, even big projects, how in a what speed it runs, I have created one more branch, right? So let's just quickly go there, right? Let's run the reactor. So see, it has now 64 files to change, right? And I think less than 30 seconds it has changed 37 files, right? And I don't know how many occurrences, right? So you can see that see here it has changed, right? It was removed because I think it was unused, so removed. Yeah, so it, see, it is changed over here as well, here as well, here as well. I mean, wherever you can see, you can see the changes. Even we have lot many cases and which are also changed into the Pascal case from the snake case with just one command and within 30 seconds, right? Okay, now you may have, I mean, you can also customize more the rector rule. So some of you guys know maybe the currency should be in this case only. It shouldn't be in a Pascal case or snake case or any case. It should be in this case only, right? And even local, right? Local should be in this case only. I mean, if your client requires or your company requires in a this case, so you can also tell the your rector rule. I mean, it is simple enough. I just want to say that I have just defined skip classes, right? I have done that if the class name where it is, yeah, sorry, somewhere it will be somewhere here. I think what I, yeah, here it is. So we just check this class name is in script classes. Don't do anything. Just return null. Yeah, one more thing. Returning node and null. If you haven't changed anything, returning null will be more performant than returning node, right? Keep that in mind. Okay. And also I have tell rector PHP that I this enum snake to Pascal case rector rule should not be run into the currency and local PHP file. So it just save the time, right? So this was it is right, and if you see the currency stuff is not getting changed with this. So it is not. I mean, there is. I mean, if you configure it like you don't have to do compromises as well, right? So see, let me just tell me that if you want to change this much currencies, right? If you even use AI, it will take a lot of time, right? So yes, Rector is saving your lot of time while if you create a custom rule, right? Okay. So now maybe you are thinking that why to review same issue 10 times if you can create a rector rule and fix it automatically, right? So when some similar sort of issues are coming back to back, you may create rector rule to fix it automatically, right? Okay. So we already talked about pros of the rector PHP. Now it's time to know cons of rector PHP because everything has pros and cons. So yeah, some transformation can have I mean changes which is unexpected and it may require some manual review, right? Because human can make mistake and think make by human can also make mistakes, right? Also it has some learning curve. Yeah, you need to learn a bit things, how to configure things, how to make rules and all, right? Yeah, writing custom rules can be complex and require deep knowledge. Maybe, I mean, you need to understand that what kind of part of your code will be what kind of node. But yeah, it is by the time you can learn things. Performance can be slow for large projects. Yeah, it could be slow because if you have large projects, it will scan all the files. Of course, for the first run, it will be. But after that, it will only run for all file if you are changing the config or only it will only run on the changed files, right? So basically, if I want to show, let's say I have what I have did. Let's say, okay. So something like this. If I have done uh, let's say, yeah, and then okay, sorry, and then rand something like this and 1 and 0, right? Hopefully, sorry, 0 and 1, right? So now if I run rector again, right, it will just run for that particular file, hopefully. Oh, okay. Maybe okay, but yeah, it has like previously it has run for uh 67 files, right? Okay, I understood the case now because it has changed 37 files previously. It ran for those 37 files only. Yeah, okay, understood. So yeah, it will I mean catch the change files and all, and it will try to ensure performance it as well. But yeah, in CI/CD it will run for every files every time. Not all Laravel and PHP features are covered by the Rector PHP, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, there is some things which cannot be done by Rector PHP easily, right? So you may either take time to create a rule for that, or maybe just do it manually. Okay, so if anyone tells you that in the future I will do some refactorings manually, tell them to use Rector PHP. Thank you. So, if you still have any questions, you can reach out to me to Punepal Shah. And yeah, of course, at any social media, my username is Mr. Punepal everywhere. Right? You can also get into the Laravel Addition community, ask questions there. Right? Thanks, guys. So yeah, I will take some questions if you have. Yo. Yeah. Yeah. As I said that not all the features are covered by. Okay, let me just tell my YouTube audience that what was the question. That he's saying that if I want to, upgrade the old Laravel project to new project, should I use Rector PHP? So it is like it will help you a bit to upgrade, right? It will not do everything for you, right? But it will decrease the job for you. I mean, so let me just try to do something for you quickly. So let's go to the user PHP, right? And let me just uh, sorry, convert this into property. Hmm, hopefully that gonna work. Do it, bro. Okay, yeah, it's got converted, right? So if you remember, in the previous Laravel versions, we was okay. It's just at the end, right? We was having this property, right? But in Laravel 11, the cast property was introduced, right? So now, if I run, I hope I have configured that rule. But if I run Rector PHP again, hopefully that will be converted into the cast method. I hope so. Yeah, right. It just converted into the cast method at place of the cast property. So yeah, it will help you in some cases, but not all the cases, right? I hope that makes sense. You are mute. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yo, yo. Thanks for thanks for inviting me. Thanks for inviting me, Laurel Morris, Percy. I actually Ravish. Thanks for inviting me, Laurel Morris. Okay, bye guys. Yeah. How's the stream? Okay. Thanks guys for joining.